a week ago. It's not even a week proper. We did the elections over the weekend. So that didn't start today. It would be wrong to synonymize UDA's election and the challenges, the woes that are actually befalling Nairobi. But far from that, let's begin from a point. I hold the opinion that NMS was a blot on devolution, and it should be a sin that we should repent as a nation and never again think of repeating the same. There are ways of actually working out problems around management. In any case, Nairobi already, for those of us born in the city, we know that Nairobi demonstrated that decentralization and a little bit of devolution will really work. Way before, when it was a council, it worked excellently well as a council, far removed from the national government. So Nairobi led the way. And at Bomas, I think Nairobi's history actually kept on coming up as a decentralized unit that actually worked so well, and part and parcel of its former successes is what informed, strengthened the idea that counties could actually work. What we have here is that when you talk about the change in the management of public affairs in Nairobi, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to shift from devolution. It just means that you can actually run it different, because Nairobi, first of all, is the capital city of the country. At any particular point, Nairobi is not entirely administered by the county alone. We actually need to put that in perspective. It's not.
Away from the NMS, when NMS had come in.
Yes, I'm saying
even institutions run Nairobi away from the county government.
The national government has got a lot of business in the city. That has actually been happening. There is a way they co-share their aspects, because a lot. What are county roads in Nairobi, for example? If you go to counties, you will actually find what are county roads and what then would be quote-unquote main roads that the national government can take care of. There are amenities, like for example, Nairobi hosts very many international and supranational, for example. UN Habitat is here. So many other lead agencies are here. And those generally are the business of the national government. Nairobi, again, is the hub for us, is actually the hub for foreign affairs engagement. That, again, is an aspect of the national government. So whatever way you look at it, Nairobi is not an ordinary or normal county. What we are saying is that we cannot, again, say that when we have got challenges in management, we walk back and say that the best way is actually to do away, because the national government has never run Nairobi before. Why are we pretending that the national government...
there's a provision for it to take over the running of Nairobi.
Why haven't they, for example, taken over other counties? What I'm actually saying is that since its finding, the national government has never run Nairobi except under NMS and under Moi.
It is a statement by the deputy president that we're trying to say. He said the president and I will take charge.
I will actually get back to that. Mm-hmm. But I'm actually telling you, there are on 2 occasions when the national government ran Nairobi's affairs. That is when Nairobi became, or rather a commission, when Nairobi was put under a commission during Moi's time, and then under NMS. On both occasions, 2 things happened. We got ballooning bills that have not been settled up to now. When it was a commission and then NMS, what did they do? There's so much that we can clap for them, but they generated a 20 billion pending bill. You know how much 20 billion will actually do in West Pokot or even Lamu, for example? Those are 5 years probably of what Lamu will get from the national government. 20 billion debt generated out of it. So, but Nairobi has always, for most of the last 60 years, Nairobi has run its affairs independently. So, be that as it may, when the deputy president actually says that we will not allow Nairobi to actually go to the dogs, he knows what he's saying. And he did not say that we will do away with devolution. What we've actually done is that we've run forward, and then since we actually have seen NMS recently, we think that is the direction. The affairs in Nairobi, of course, are of concern. That Nairobi is not being run optimally, that Nairobi is not serving its 4.5 million people, those who sleep in this city, and the 5.5 million people who during the day are part and parcel of what this city is. So there are concerns. Those concerns are legit. But when the deputy president says that he should be interested, he definitely should. He's the principal assistant to the head of state.
He's indicating a possibility of national government intervention.
That's not what he meant. No one has qualified that. And the deputy president...
Invoke the name of the president and say the president and I will take charge.
The president, for example, has gone to the Kamagut goat auction. Has the national government taken over? The president, no, yes, it is. I'm just saying that the president is actually the head of the state, is the symbol of national unity. This is the leader of our nation. And Nairobi is not a state nation that lives aside of that. So Nairobi as the jewel of our country, when the deputy president says that the president and I will actually start being more concerned with what is happening here, is that they will not treat it like any other affair. After all, they all live here. They conduct their business here.
There's a process to it.
When they live here, the process here is that, number one, the management of public affairs is political. So there's no problem when, for example, we have got MCAs. UDA has got MCAs in the county assembly, right? The deputy president is the deputy party leader of UDA. When he says that his party leader and himself as the deputy will now start focusing on Nairobi so that it doesn't go to the dogs, he simply means one thing, that we as stakeholders, and he has a right to say so, we as UDA are stakeholders in Nairobi.
They no longer have control of the county assembly of Nairobi as a party, and that is why they see that Nairobi is not working optimally.
That is not entirely true of what he said. The concern about, you see, who is the governor of Nairobi? He's a UDA governor, right?
The governor himself has come out to say that he's being fought because he's working with the ODM party leader.
That's for the governor to defend.
Well, this is a party politics playing out. I'm not using my own words. This has been in the media of late. So it is down to an issue of parties, actually. It would appear it really has very little to do with anything else, the flood situation or the garbage situation in Nairobi. It is down to the county assembly and who has control of this county assembly, and it would appear that UDA as a party is uncomfortable with the balance of numbers in the county assembly of Nairobi and how the governor, Sakaja, is using those numbers.
Well, I will not